Okay, now you said psychological warfare. You listed 5 different elements. I didn't catch the first one. You said eating.
I can't remember. So the food, the how we're eating our food,
Right.
the media, the music, society, and the grandparents. You know, because the grandparents were more or less that traditional the traditional element which was needed so a tradition can be carried forward. You know, so it could, you know, but many people these days they don't even know their grandparents because of the disconnect between their parents.
So there's a
so the problem is, yeah. So there's a disconnect. So if we have a disconnection already with the parents, you know, how are we going to get to know grandparents? So the problem is all of these 5 elements have changed over the past couple of decades. They have changed, so it's given birth to a new, you know, it's given birth to the trap mentality. I call it the trap because that's what, you know, they're using that through the music, you know.
Right. So
it's a trap.
So are you saying in regards to eating, because we definitely know, I think pretty much whether people respond to it or not, or even admit it, we do, everybody in their own way. I've heard everybody acknowledge, you know, being affected negatively by the media, by music, even regards to being disrespectful to their parents, grandparents, etc. But you very seldomly hear anyone say anything about the food being a part of the, you know, the problem.
Yeah. So the food is because everything's fast. You know, everything's fast. You know, the fast food is not nutritional. It doesn't have those nutritional values than eating a proper cooked meal. You know, so with the fast food, it is having an effect, not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually. And it's the same thing with the music, the same thing. So it's a combination of stuff. That's why I said it's the different variables which come into play. And if all of those variables come into play, because even with the music, you know, there's certain, you know, even if you're listening, I'm not saying all hip hop was modest back then, you know, or conscious or whatever. However, those old school hip hop artists, they kind of taught you how to be a man in the street. They taught you how to be a man in the street. They taught you just how to be a man, a black man who can stand up for being, you know, just being proud, you know, and just seeing all of, you know, the complications ahead of us, you know, which to avoid. And also, when you're listening to the soul music as well, they're obviously teaching you how to love. They're teaching you how to be affectionate. They're teaching you how to be open to the black woman.
Right.
You know, but now it ain't like that. You know, I'm not saying that you don't find no new school music like that at all, but it's a rare thing. It's not common. You know, it's a paradigm shift where it's not balanced.
Right.
So all of these new school people in their teens, their 20s, and even some in their early 30s, they've been brought up differently. So they're gonna, you know, you know, the mumble rap is, you know, it's something they're gonna be dancing along because, you know, it's what their youngsters listen to, you know. And they will make excuses and tell you that the beat's good, or I need to communicate with my child, or I need to listen to that music as well. Right. No, you don't.
Right. Right.
No, you don't, because you're the parent.
Right.
If you're the parent, you could have been playing them old school classics as soon as that child came out the womb,
That's it.
and they would have appreciated it.
Mm-hmm.
They would have appreciated it, and it would have been their value. But because we're so lenient, for what reason I don't know. Because people would just try to use any excuse to justify things and saying you want the person to be free. But how free do you want your child to be? Because at the end of the day, there's a whole big difference with a child choosing at a later stage when they're grown up to follow, the LBG rather than being imposed onto them. So the freedom is that we are not installing those African-centered values that we did before in the 80s, the 70s, and, the 60s. We're not doing it no more.
Right.
We ain't doing it no more because we're being submissive to societal standards. The society is not your mommy, it's not your daddy. It's not your mommy, it's not your daddy. Child support, it's not your mommy, it's not your daddy.
Wow.
Obviously certain people might get mixed, certain people might fall into it, and then mistakes happen.
Right.
Mistakes do happen, but we need to really listen to one another. Brothers need to listen to sisters. Sisters need to listen to brothers. Brothers also need to listen to each other before, losing their minds or being egotistical, wanting to, impose violence onto another brother. And what are you imposing violence for? Because they walked in your part of the woods or they're wearing red.
Wow.
What the hell has that got to do with things? And it's not just in America. It's the same thing what goes on in the UK. Because in 2018, the crime rate in London was higher than New York in 2018 because of the knife epidemic.
Right. And so that everybody that's listening is clear. We are on the line with Brother Ola. Am I pronouncing it right? Ola Tokunbo.
Yeah, you pronounce that right. But my first name's Siraj. So Ola Boyega. My name is Siraj Ola Boyega Tokunbo or Tokunle.
Right, and
I know that's a mouthful.
No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need to just make it clear that we're discussing mental health, specifically in the Black community. What the brother is touching on is talking about the effects of not eating right, effects of the media, effects of the music, effects of the disconnection with the family unit. I know from where.
Go on, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, bro.
Now, and I was also saying, I also wanted to say another thing. Just touching on my journey. Because I've got a documentary called Man in the Mirror. I need to get more copies so I can start selling them again. So I do apologize, brothers and sisters, but you will, if anyone wants to purchase copies, I will get onto that so I can start reselling them in the month of May and stuff like that. But in regards to my story, because obviously I've had a disconnect with my family due to my upbringing and stuff like that. But one of the things I would say is what was big in the United Kingdom. I think in the 50s was the whole fostering phenomenon. The whole fostering phenomenon. A lot of West Africans, when they came over to the UK, they placed their children with white foster carers, thinking that they would get a better quality of life.
Right.
And a lot of white people were capitalizing off that.
Wow.
It was just like a new age slavery. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, Now, if there was more black people who were hired or even volunteered or went for a job to be a foster carer, would they still have given their child up to someone who looks like me and you? Or would they still send them? And this is what people need to ask themselves when it comes to conditioning. Why would you feel that you would get a better quality of life because you're being looked after by the white man or white woman? Why? To progress in a racist society, what doesn't love me and you? You know, you have to think about that. That was happening. That was a common thing. And I was one of those people. I stayed in foster care for 6 years. My mum placed me there. I stayed there for 6 years. And my dad was still, at the time, my dad wasn't able to, his stay wasn't approved until the late 80s in the United Kingdom.
Wow.
In the late 80s, that's when my dad's stay was approved. But the problem is, because of that connection between the royal family and obviously, all these places who were colonized or who were granted independence, even in the Caribbean, or places of Commonwealth places. These black folks feel that you saved us from some sort of hell. So because of the colonial thinking, they were looking at places they originated as hell.
Right.
But how did they become that hell in the first place?
Right.
How did they come that? Then they thought the UK was any better, but they came here and they struggled because it wasn't even that many decades ago where they were saying no blacks, no pets, no dogs, no Irish.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to forget that. Now they want to be getting in interracial posses. The black man wants to start mating with the white woman, or the black woman wants to be mating with the white man. How did you get to that point? You've lost your mind.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these scholars have said that. Francis Wilson, Amos,
and
a lot of these scholars.
There's a big and it's not just your family. There's a big I would say a worldwide hoax that was put on our people, even, especially in America. To think that you can come in America and have like this American dream, or even those who are born in America or Africans born in America, trying to have an American dream. In reality, it's a European lifestyle, European culture that Africans are trying to live, and that's what makes it a struggle. Because we're actually trying to be someone that we're not. We're trying to do things that really has nothing to do with who we are as a people. And by that I don't mean trying to become doctors and lawyers and any essential position. I'm talking just basics, just basics. Just a basic lifestyle. So when we look at, it's been passed on, it's generational as well, because when the youth look at something like, when you talked about the food, when the youth look at, even myself when we was kids, when we looked at the meat that was put on the plate, the chicken versus the spinach on the plate, the string beans and all that, we going for the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not looked at as actually part of our culture. The chicken is actually dead, but the spinach is alive. But we're not taught that. we're not. There's no connection to what this actually does for me. So I'm just going for what I believe tastes good, and so even from, like I'm saying, from the youth, the youth is passed on to the youth. There's just that psychological, issue where our parents always was chasing something that had nothing to do with us as a people. My family couldn't tell me nothing about the first heart surgeon, the first black cardiologist, that was not a conversation in none of my years as a child. You know what I'm saying? The things that was taught to us in grade school and elementary school, those are the things that just stayed with many of us. And so, when we grow up, and we get knowledge of ourselves, and we start realizing, wait a minute, we black, we African, wait a minute. See, then there's a disconnect. There's another level.
And what I'm gonna do, sorry to interject, brother, but I'm gonna add to what you just said. Yeah, the people who came from the continent and from the islands should know better. And once again, I'm not saying this to place everybody in that bracket, but those amongst us, yeah,
right,
who were more connected with our roots than the Africans who
already here
were, placed in the United States. We should know better.
Right.
We should know better. So we should have no excuse by taking on certain colonized ideals. I'm not talking about the ones which were born over here.
Right.
Because I was one who was born over here. But I'm talking about the ones that migrated. Because they came straight from the islands, straight from the continent. There should be no. But the problem, as I said, going back to what I was saying earlier in regards to the independence, because of these places were Commonwealth places, and certain the French, and other parts of Europe who were colonized, because there's a huge French, French-speaking Africans,
right,
the Ivorians, the Ivory Coast people, the Congo,
right,
there's quite a few of them, who speak the language of the colonizers, and at the end of the day, when you are having musicians like Fela Kuti, who was an activist, and telling you, trying to wake you up out there, or you're having someone like the Patrice Lumumbas, or you're even having people like Mugabe, or back then you have the William Mandela, people who were trying to wake you up. But as you mentioned, brother, people are so fascinated with, the Anglo-Saxon European ideology. We was in it, and it was a big bamboozle. It was a big bamboozle, and it saddens me. And because of that, we seem to be so scattered and separated, or just fragmented. That's the word I normally use. We're so fragmented as a people. So how are we supposed to practice economic first when we're dealing with a different system of currency, which wasn't created from us, but created by, I think it was the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. I can't remember. One of the two families. I know there's more of them, like the Morgan. I think there's 13 families, or if on top of my head, if I can remember. But we have to work on healing mentally, physically, and spiritually by any means necessary on all levels, on anything you can find which helps towards you overcoming adversity, healing from this trauma, then we can move forward on the next platform. But don't think just because you're an individual and you might be in a position economically better, or certain family members will live under that roof, that you've made it. I ain't made it if we all ain't made it. If we all ain't made it, I ain't made it.
There it is, man. There it is right there. There it is.
I'm not made it until we all have made it. Because when you look, and this conversation it's in the books. It's been going on for many decades.
Mm-hmm.
Even a century. It's been going on. When you look at certain communities, and even later on, people came and, and even you have generations, you see how generational wealth was passed on, whether it's the Asians, the Indians, the Indian man. It's the same thing in the UK as the US, same thing. The Indian, even the Polish people are trying to jump on it now. And you see the Indians, you see them at the gas station. We call them petrol. So you see them at the petrol gas station. You see them in the corner stores, selling you Cheetos or whatever, or Doritos. You see them selling weaves and products which damage the scalp,
mm-hmm.
And we invest so much, we're the biggest consumers. So when people say black folks don't have money, of course black folks have money. But if black folks didn't have money, all of these different groups of ethnicities outside the Nubian, outside the Nubians, they will fall, because they rely on the pound and the dollar. They rely on the pound and the dollar to keep their businesses going.
Right.
Because who else is going to buy their weed? Who else is going to buy their certain products?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to sell all their fake jewelry. Who else is going to buy all that?
Right.
They need us because they know they've tapped into. All they need to do is watch your shows, just like how the white man studied us for years.
That's right.
So when we blame the Indians and Asians, they're only duplicating what the white man has been doing. They're just duplicating it. But what do? We don't want to. We don't trust each other. We don't trust each other and stuff like that. We don't. If we're in a position to help, we don't want to help. And I'm not saying everybody's in a position, because not everybody is in the position,
right,
due to, and there's so many reasons for that.
Right.
But we need, if you're in a position to help someone, you can take 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour. You can help someone produce a business plan, or help someone put them on the radio show, like what's going on now. Or you can introduce someone. Your help can get that individual to the next level, rather than all of this ego trip thing. And it's crazy because, I love my brothers and sisters in America. I love my brothers and sisters in the continent, the Caribbean, South America, wherever you are. But we need to stop this ego trip. Like, we don't want to, we need to stop this clique kind of thing. Everybody wants to be a part of the clique. If you ain't part of that clique, then you can't get involved. We're acting like agents and gatekeepers. While we are adopting that, we don't even see these traits we're carrying out, because we don't want to own up to it. And that's why I always talk about self-reflection. That's why the name of my venture is called the Man in the Mirror Project. Not just for the black man, but the black woman as well. It's about self-reflection. So before you start using social platforms to curse out people, I might not agree with everything Umar Johnson does, but what do I do as a mature adult? I can get on a radio show and talk about there's an issue, there's a cause of concern. How do we address it?
Right.
We need to start bringing back, and I had the idea recently, brother. We need to come up with a Pan-African disputes council. We need the global diaspora Pan-African disputes council what deals with our disputes. We need that because instead of going on reckless, because social media has been it's like a playground now.
Right.
You know, people are so egotistical. I think to myself, we blame the youth. We've barely even made the age of 20 years old yet, but are still 18, 17, 16, and we act even worse than them.
Yep.
Because we can't conduct ourselves well online. Because, you know, we want to start doing, you know, and don't get it, and also sisters. I love you to bits, sisters. I love my sisters and stuff like that. And so, when it comes, we need to be more, because we always need to be thoughtful when it comes to, even when you're exposing predators. There's so many people you could reach out to, like elders, this, that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying do everything behind closed doors, but we need to be smart when we're doing things.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of sick people online who have not healed. So we're not conducting ourselves accordingly online. We're not conducting ourselves in court because we're trying to expose the other person or post pictures that they sent us or do this and do that. I'm not saying don't be angry, brother, or don't be angry, sister, but you need to use the common sense. You need to approach the matter with emotional intelligence and not emotional immaturity. You know, we need to set the example. You know, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot of, and we need to stop this gender war. Not every sister is hurt you, my brother. So you can't blame the black woman for everything. And sisters, not every black man is hurt you. So let's stop the generalizing.
It is.
You know, because we work better when we come together.
It is. And I get a lot of a lot of conversations with individuals who more so black women who are totally just so through with black men. They pretend that they're not, but they are so angry, so hurt that all they want to do is, you know, pour out all of this bad information on, you know, things that happened while they was in relationships with people. And, you know, I let them know I'm not airing that because that's not what my show was about. You know, if you need that off the air, then we can talk about it. But I'm not going to air, you know, your personal trash out. You know, if you got a head on your shoulders, why not use what you've been through to actually just help somebody else and give some sisters out there some wisdom and give some brothers out there some wisdom, you know, so that this situation may not happen to somebody else. But just by airing it out is not enough. You know,
there you go, my brother. There you go. You know, I just wanted to interject quickly because I think I've only got 5 minutes. We need to use social media to our advantage, not to our disadvantage, to be self-destructive. So if you feel that you don't know what's going on, you put the question out there until you get the result. What is there healing circles? Is there circles to help our brothers? Is there circles what can help the women? Is there programs? What programs are going on out there? We need to be a bit more smarter. And this is why, you know, I'm going to build with you. You know, this conversation don't just end here, bro. we're gonna have to build.
No doubt.
We're gonna have to build, and we because at the end of the day, this is a bigger picture, which a lot of brothers and sisters see. And let me tell you, sister, and let me tell you, brother. So let me tell you this clearly, brother and sister. If you air out another brother or sister online, always remember that there's more than one side to the story.
There it is.
So don't get frustrated if no one believes in you, because it's not that. Don't get frustrated if no one believes in you, because it's not that. no one wants to support you and stuff, but sometimes the approach towards things can make things not add up.
That's right.
It can make things not add up. So we have to really use wisdom, use wisdom rather than using our pain rather than acting out our pain,
There's a thing that's done quite often when you see someone giving mouth to mouth. They're actually utilizing, their the breath of life, blowing their breath of life, blowing air from one vessel to another. And I always like to tell these people offline when they get to venting, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. But if we're going to speak to the people and you're going to open your mouth as if you're giving CPR. Give life. So if you haven't, taken in your experience, and learned from them, understanding them, understanding what's actually going on, you can't complain about somebody doing right if you don't understand the whole equation. So once you get to feel like you should have been treated better, you should actually, do some investigation and find out, the whole equation and how to be articulate enough to interpret that so other people can receive it, and then you can hold people accountable once you articulate it so that it's understood. You can't charge people, guilty for not treating you right when you haven't even been able to articulate that, opposed to saying better. So breathe life, breathe life. When we open our mouth, we need to breathe life into people, opposed to just running our mouth complaining.
Okay. Yes, that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 8:00 here, brother. But if you want to do a part 2, I'm more than willing. If you want me to do a part 2, and I appreciate it. As I said, once again, brothers and sisters, my name is Siraj OLA TOKUNBO. You can find out more about the Man in the Mirror project, my documentary, on my website, which is www.tmitmproject.com. That's tmitmproject.com. And the TMITN stands for the Man in the Mirror. So the Man in the Mirror project.com. That's TMITM.com. There's more about what I do. I was supposed to come to the States this May for Mental Health Awareness Month in the US, and for Juneteenth I was supposed to do a 6-week tour speaking on the unspoken truth behind a black man's abuse. I will be postponing that due to the corona COVID-19 pandemic, and I'll be postponing that for 2021. The new dates will be updated on the website around September, hopefully, after things have died down. So I will be doing that tour. I'm also starting a program at the end of the year called My Brother's Keeper Wellness and Empowerment Circle, which will be international. So brothers can get the support needed. There'll be various workshop facilitators and practitioners giving online support. Some of the support given will be face-to-face, depending on how the sessions are booked and so forth. But we will be updating brothers and sisters within the next around September with the project, My Brother's Keeper Wellness and Empowerment Circle, which will be introduced from our main company, the Man in the Mirror Project.
I definitely want to thank you, brother, for allowing us to, have some benefit from your program and your presence on the line today. WNT9 Radio. We have on the line with us today, brother OLA TOKUNBO. Pardon me with the pronunciation of your name, brother. Again,
no, you pronounced it right.
The website is www.tmitmproject.com. Thank you again, bro. Do not hang up. I just want to give a quick shout, and then we'll kick it offline right quick. I know you got to go. Hold on 1 second, bro.
That's fine.
WNT9 Talk Radio.
Here we go, y'all.
WNT9 Talk Radio. WNT9 Talk Radio.
Here we go, y'all.
WNT9 Talk Radio.